So today I'm going to show you how to create one-click AI SEO tools using Claude 3.5 Sonnet. And you're basically going to learn exactly how to create these tools yourself, step by step. It's going to be quite easy, and I'll show you exactly how. And what you're going to get is 3 new free ways to create one-click AI SEO tools with Claude 3.5 Sonnet, how to save time using the best free AI on the internet, and the secret to easily sharing these tools with your team so they can achieve more and get better productivity, plus a potential gold mine because you can learn how these tools can rank and generate traffic. So I'm going to get straight into it. With that, let's start doing this. So what I'm going to do is share my screen right now and we'll run through exactly how you can use Claude 3.5 Sonnet for free. And also what I'm going to do is just give you all my SOPs and templates and that sort of thing step by step. So if you haven't already, make sure you're logged into Claude 3.5, and then from here you can go to your settings in the bottom left and click on feature preview. And this is available for free users and also for users who are paid as well. But it's a really powerful tool where you can create your own free tools, and it's pretty simple and easy to do. Now, what Anthropic actually announced yesterday is this brand new feature, as you can see right here. And basically, artifacts made with Claude can now be published and shared. And you can also remix artifacts made by other people, which is pretty cool. And basically, what you can do from here is if you're creating your own AI SEO tools, then you can publish them to the internet and then share them for free. And the other crazy thing about this is that they can actually rank on Google from what I can see. So for example, if we put in Claude.site into Google, this is where the tools that you create that are one click will be hosted. And then from there, if we repeat the search with site submitted, you can see that already a bunch of these artifacts that have been created for free on Claude are already indexed on Google, right? Pretty crazy right there. Now, it doesn't seem like you can edit the title or the meta description for now, but I'm pretty sure that'll change, just like when custom GPTs first came out. But you can see that all of these tools are actually indexed on Google and potentially could start getting traffic. Now, I'm going to guide you through step by step how to do this, and it's pretty simple. So what you can do, let me pull up an example workflow right here. I'll show you exactly how this works. And by the way, you'll get access to all of this for free at the end of the video. So for example, we can take a tool like this one, for example, plug it into Claude like so, wait for that to load. And you can see how quick and easy this is to create your own SEO tools. Then it's going to generate all the code for that particular tool, and we can wait for it to be generated. Then we can preview it. And what you'll see here, this is a new feature on Claude that just got announced recently, is you can actually publish it. So if you look at the bottom right there, we can change that to publish and copy link. And now it is published, right? And we can share that with our team. So for example, let's say you're an SEO agency, or you could create free tools for your clients using Claude, which is probably the best AI I've tested out of ChatGPT and Gemini and everything else. And then you can share this with other people on the internet. So for example, if I posted this link inside the chat, you'd be able to access it. And also, eventually, it won't be indexed obviously right now, but eventually it'll be able to index on Google and rank. Now, you might say, why is that important? Because not only can you share this with your team, not only can you create your own tools you can come back to as well, but also if you take, for example, some of my other custom GPTs that I've built, you can see that these custom GPTs rank pretty well on Google. So for example, if we plug in this custom GPT, which is kind of like the ChatGPT version of a Claude artifact, we'll wait for Ahrefs to load, it has been a little bit slow recently. I'm not going to lie to you. Every time I do a live, it's been pretty slow. But whilst we're waiting for that to load, there we go. So you can see that it's ranking for a bunch of keywords right here. And basically, you can create these tools, rank them on Google, and plug in your own affiliate links, or you could plug in like links to your funnels, or you could just create tools for your clients and for your customers and also for your team, right, to get more out of them. So for example, this particular custom GPT that I built ranks for free keyword clustering tool directly on Google. Pretty nice. Eugen says hello to you too. Shout out to Eugen. And by the way, if you have any questions as we go along, the reason that I create these live streams is so that I can slow down everything that I do. There's no editing involved. You see everything as I do it live. And if you have any questions, you can just ask me on the call. And then, instead of paying a consultant like $1,000 an hour, you can ask your questions and get them answered for free live directly on this live stream. So that's one of the best ways to use this is you can actually create these artifacts. For example, this keyword research tool, then you can publish it. It will probably rank on Google. You can also remix artifacts. So you can take someone else's artifact, click on remix, and then you can edit those tools from other people, right? So for example, this one right here, you can actually regenerate it based on what someone else has already done. And then you can improve it and remix it and change it and make it better or personalized to you. So for example, you could say, right, I want it for the SEO niche, or I want it for the birds niche, or whatever you want. Eugen says how to use not just keywords, but their exact quantity for ChatGPT, for example. Not sure exactly what you mean there, but if you want to clarify the question a bit, then I am happy to answer anything you get. So just feel free to rephrase the question and make it a bit more specific, and I can answer it. And Giant says, check this tool. Feel free to send it, and I can check it out if you send it over on the chat. So that is method number one. Now you could also do this, for example, for creating content. So you could create your own tool that creates content for free directly in Claude, and then share it with people. Or, one of the craziest things you could probably do about this is you could actually charge people access or use it as a lead magnet, right? So for example, let's say you've got a website where you're collecting people's email addresses with the content that you create, right? You could actually use the tools that you create with Claude as a free lead magnet. And instead of getting someone to like custom create a tool and paying them to do it, you could do it for free with Claude and then use that as a giveaway directly on your website, right? So for example, instead of, you could say like, want to boost your SEO traffic, get free instant access to my custom GPT, just type in your email address and then use something like this, send it via email, the link that you've created on Claude, and then use that as a lead magnet to attract more leads to your email list. Pretty simple. So in terms of the use cases, it's pretty crazy what you can do. Now let's create a content machine. So I'm going to take this content prompt right here, and then I'm going to go back to the original chat where I created this tool, this one right here. I'm going to plug in a prompt from my Claude 3.5 Sonnet workflows. And at the top, I'm going to take this, I'm going to say, create a content creation tool and preview it. For content creation, do this. And we'll say, ask the user for their keyword first, then create the content. And then also put this prompt at the bottom, which is don't give me this error. This is quite a common error when you're generating Claude 3. Tools with Claude 3.5 and previewing them. So we'll head into like so. CX Nation says, how's Chipper Birds? Any updates? So I haven't logged into Chipper Birds for quite a while, but let's see how much money it's making. So we can go onto Mediavine, for example, and also let's go onto Bing Webmaster Tools. We'll check out Bing Webmaster Tools. So if we go to Chipper Birds right here, you can see that it's still generating money daily, still making money daily. I think lifetime, how much has it made so far? It is made. So this is, to anyone who's not familiar with this, basically this is a website that I built with AI previously. It did get clapped for being a public case study, so it got removed from Google manually because it was a public case study, but you can see it's made nearly $21,000, which is not bad at all. And traffic, it still gets traffic from Bing, as you can see, but yeah, pretty simple stuff. So it's generating this tool, and again, you could use it as a content creation tool. And then there's a bunch of other tools you could create as well. So we've already covered keyword research and content. You could create an SEO calculator or any sort of calculator for your niche. You could create a brand new website using this process right here. And you could even create like a top or map maker and share that and rank it on Google. But there's so many different use cases that you could use for tools like this. And now that you can share them and publish them publicly to the internet, it's pretty crazy what you can do. Now, if you want access to all of this, what I'm going to do is I'll include the link and give it away to you for free on this particular video. So you'll get access to that at the end. We've also got two other methods to cover right here. And you might be saying, why would you create artifacts like this. I mean, number one, share with your team equals more productivity. Number two, you can automate SEO processes that you don't need to spend a lot of time on. Number three, you could use this as a lead magnet to get a bigger list. Number four, give away to your clients if you're an SEO agency, which means, if you give your clients free tools that are really good, then your clients are going to appreciate that. It takes your level of service to a whole new level. And it works for any niche, right? So it works for any niche. It's free. It can be indexed on Google. So we've covered like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different use cases for using these artifacts. The other thing is, well, you can remix other people's for free. So you can build better tools based on what other people have done. So really good. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do with that. And it's a brand new feature. Only just came out on July the 9th, US time. So it was like less than 48 hours ago. Pretty crazy. User says, for example, I want ChatGPT to mention Julian Goldie 20 times in my text. I want to write a biography about you, but ChatGPT uses this keyword as many times as it deems necessary. So first thing I would say is that I actually canceled my ChatGPT subscription because I think Claude is a lot more sentient and a lot more powerful, and it tends to follow instructions better. So I would recommend that. And then also just be really strict with it. Like what you can do is once you create the content, if you said, right, mention the keyword 10 times, then you can ask Claude to say, right, can you count it up how many times you used that keyword inside the content, that sort of thing. So for example, if I say, write a blog about SEO agencies in New York, and then I'm going to say, mention the keyword SEO agencies in New York 20 times. You don't need to do that. That's kind of like keyword stuffing, but just as an example. And I'm going to say, stick strictly to this number of keyword mentions. We'll hit enter. We'll wait for it to generate the content. Now it's creating the content, as you can see. And we'll see how many times it mentioned the keyword. And it might not do it perfectly. Don't get me wrong. Like if you saw yesterday's video, you would have seen it. But you can see, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 different keyword mentions. I can't believe that Claude actually did it perfectly. But yeah, this is a free tool. I would say personally, it's impressed me more than ChatGPT so far. It follows instructions a lot better, and it still hallucinates. You got to be careful with that. But as you can see, it has mentioned the keyword 20 times as we've instructed it. Perfect. Good to go. So that answered the question easier and better than I thought it would do. So this is method number one, as we've talked about, which is creating tools on Claude 3.5 Sonnet. You can do it for free. You follow this process. If you're wondering, okay, what sort of tools can I create? Here's some examples. And if you're wondering how to do it for free, you just sign up for Claude. If you're wondering how to share them, you just hit publish in the bottom right. And if you're wondering if they can index on Google, you can. If you're wondering why you would use them, I've listed all the use cases right there. So pretty good, smooth live stream at the minute so far. And like I say, if you have any questions, just feel free to ask them. I've answered every single question inside the chat so far. So make sure you answer, ask any other questions if you have them along the way. So method number two, and we've got 2 more methods to cover, right? So we've covered method number 1, which is directly inside Claude 3.5. Method number 2 is using WebSim. And method number 3 is a pretty mind-blowing one that I can't wait to share with you. So we've created these tools on WebSim AI. Basically, WebSim AI, if you're not familiar with it, it can use Claude 3.5 Sonnet, as you can see right here. It's completely free for anyone to access, and you can basically create the internet with like one prompt, as you can see right here, and create your own tools directly inside Claude. So, for example, you've got this interdimensional cable TV. You've got radioclaw.com. You've got a Minecraft-inspired game right there. It's even emulated Doom, the game, if anyone's familiar with Doom from like the 90s or something like that. Plants vs. Zombies, realm of Dungeons and Dragons. There's all sorts of crazy stuff you can actually do. So, for example, if we load up this particular example right here, using Claude, they've generated a keyboard, and then you can just play a keyboard online using Claude, and you can create the whole internet using this sort of stuff. So, what you can do is we can take a prompt like I was talking about before. Then we can plug that into Claude like so. I'm going to plug the prompt in here and we'll call it coffeekeywords.com. So it's kind of like using an internet browser in an internet browser. It's a little bit meta. Then we're going to hit enter. You can see you can actually upload photos as well, which is pretty crazy. And then we're going to hit enter. Now, it can take a little bit of time to generate that response. So if you have any questions, feel free to post them as we get along. And if this video is helping you, then feel free to smash a like on it just so that I can reach more people and it'll help more people. So what you can see right here is using websim.ai, we've generated this free SEO tool and it was extremely simple to do, right? Now, what you can see in the top right here is that you can copy the URL to your clipboard. You can open it up like so, and then you can share it with people as well. I don't think that it, as far as I'm aware, I don't think it indexes on Google, but you can see that you can share this free tool that you've generated in one prompt directly on the internet. You can share it with your team, share it with your clients, use it as a lead magnet, etc. Very simple and easy to do. So if we, for example, put espresso into our coffee keyword generator, we'll hit generate keywords like so. And now it's generated a bunch of keywords. Now, I would ignore the difficulty and I would also ignore the volume because I don't think that's very useful. But if we plug in this keyword into Google, we can see, okay, people are actually searching for stuff like this. Let's have a look. So the keyword that this tool generated, again, one single prompt. If we open it up, best coffee beans for home brewing. If we go on to Google right here, we'll just check, are people actually searching for this keyword? Because obviously, if nobody was searching for it, it wouldn't come up in the autocomplete, right? So we can just validate that this keyword is actually being searched for. So if we put best coffee beans for, and then we put home brewing into Google, you can see that people are actually searching for that keyword. So straight off the bat, we've put in our topical cluster into our coffee keyword generator, and you could customize this for any single niche using the prompts that I've given you right here. And then, for example, you can use all of these keywords and the long tail, people are actually searching for them. We've validated that via Google. I would use a bit of common sense because not all of these keywords you're going to use. I would ignore the volume and the competition, but can you use these keywords? Are they long tail? Are most of them going to be low competition? Yeah, probably. So it's a pretty powerful way to generate these tools in a simplified way with one single prompt. And now you never need to worry about keywords again. Happy days. It was completely free, right? So it's absolutely crazy what you can do. Now, this is not just limited to SEO, right? So like I was saying, anything that you can think of, any single tool that you can imagine, you can actually create directly inside websim.ai. It's basically like creating your own internet. And the only limitation is your own creativity. It's absolutely amazing. It's probably one of the biggest changes I've seen to the internet since ChatGPT came out, because now you can create anything. And the crazy thing about this is there's so much you can do for it, right? So for example, there's an AI picture generator right there. You can draw your own GIFs, which is crazy. You got an AI cat generator, like anything you can imagine is directly inside this tool. And that is method number 2. So just to recap, so far we've covered method number 1 for creating free one-click AI SEO tools as promised, and that is directly inside Claude 3.5. The second method that we've covered is using WebSim AI, and you can use any of the prompts or anything you can imagine and publish them, right? Now, I'm not sure if we go to websim.ai, I don't know whether it's actually like indexing the content on Google directly. Let's have a look. So it's ranking for 1,600 keywords. This is crazy, right? So what you can see here is that a lot of the tools are actually ranking on Google directly. So for example, if we open up this particular tool, someone has created this page right here, kind of like a e-commerce page, and it's actually ranking on Google position number 11 for the target keyword that they've gone after, right? So you can see people are using it for SEO already. So Kanye sucking toes is another one that's ranking position number 2. I don't even want to click on that, but I can only imagine what's on there. You got all this crazy stuff that's ranking on Google that's been created directly on WebSim AI, right? So not only is method number 1 ranking on Google, and these are free tools you can create, but you can also see method number 2 is already ranking on Google as well. And I think WebSim AI only came out like a couple of weeks ago. So I can imagine the domain rating is going to go up and the amount of traffic is going to get is going to increase massively as well. So absolutely crazy right there. Eugene says, okay, we've inserted the keywords. Now, how do we humanize this text so that it contains our keywords and at the same time looks more like human written text? Great question. So what I would recommend there is that you would take a prompt like this one, for example. Let's open this up, this bad boy. And what you can see right here is this is a method for making your content feel really human. Now, you can adapt this prompt if you want to include a certain number of mentions of keywords and use it to create what I would say is quite sentient sounding content. So, for example, what you've got inside this prompt, and it's in a video from yesterday between me and Kazra Dash. Shout out to Kazra. If you haven't checked out his channel, make sure you do. But what you can see inside this prompt is that we plug in the keyword, then we're going to write the content, and we're going to use some knowledge that we've generated from step number 1, which is right here. So we get knowledge from Perplexity so that our AI doesn't hallucinate. Now, what I'm actually going to do, if you want to use that method, is I'm just going to plug it inside the SOP from today, and we'll put that in the content creation section. So all the prompts that I'm showing you right now for content creation, you can get inside the SOP. I'll give you at the end of this video, so make sure you keep watching. And what you can see here is we will take this prompt like so. We're going to go into Claude, and I was actually pretty impressed by how sentient the content sounds and how good it sounds. So just going to wait for Claude AI to show up right there. It's taking its sweet time. There we go. Now we have it. We're going to plug this into here, but I'm going to say mention the keyword best SEO speakers 20 times. All right. Now, again, I don't really agree with like the keyword stuffing method that you meant using here. When I'm creating content, I'm not going to operate like that. But just because Eugene has requested it, that's why we've done it in this particular example. And Claude is broken right now, which is quite interesting. So I'm just going to go again. And it might be that we've actually got a rate limit. So you can see we've got a limit to the number of times we can use it. As you can see right here, it says rate exceeded. So we'll see if it comes up. If it doesn't, we'll come back to it later in the video. But it seems like it's working now. So maybe it was just being a little bit buggy right there. So if you look at this particular content, it's very humanized, right? So for example, let's go to the chase. You want to know who the best SEO speakers in 2024 are. That is way more humanized in terms of content versus your average AI fluff that wouldn't be that interesting. So if we look at this particular example, you can see that the content feels a lot more sentient. It feels a lot more human. The text is broken up. It's not like a wall of text. And if you want to compare that, let's put in just a basic prompt. So you can see Claude is actually down right now, which is not great when you're doing a video about Claude on a live stream, but we'll keep it going. We'll keep it moving. So yeah, that's basically how you can do it. You can just use this prompt right here. How would you get access to it? I'll give you access to it in this video. And so you've got the prompts for humanizing your content creation. We've already covered how to maximize the number of keywords inside the content. We've covered 2 different ways that you can create free AI SEO tools and publish them and share them with your team. And we are getting through the promises, right? Because today, what we have offered you is we've offered new free ways to share and create one-click AI SEO tools, which you've done. I've shown you how to save time using the best free AI on the internet to make you more productive. We've also shown you how you can share these tools with your team and how you can potentially rank them. So for example, like WebSim AI is actually ranking its tools directly on Claude. And I'm also giving you all the prompts, SOPs, and workflows for free today as well. So the final method, and I'm excited to show you this, is using this method right here. Now, what you can do, and again, this is free, being very, very clear here, this is completely free. So what you can see right here is if you go to console.anthropic.com, which is inside the SOP, you can from there start creating your own API, right? So if you go to API keys, you can create an API key right here. I'm not going to share it live on the stream, but I can create an API key in the background, which I'll do right here. So let's call that make tool, and I'm going to create that tool in the background. I won't share it with you directly on the prompt, obviously. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go onto make.com. Now, make.com is kind of like a free version of Zapier. You actually get multiple different ways you can create free tools inside make.com. So if we go onto make.com here, we can go to login, wait for that to load. Chanika says, hi, Jules. Shout out to Chanika, the best MC in Thailand. And so from here, we're going to go to scenarios. And then from here, we can just copy an example scenario. So let's say, for example, we can take, let's have a look what we got here. We can create a new scenario, and I'll just show you how it works step by step. So inside make.com, this is completely free to use. You get like, I think it's like 1,000 operations for free or something like that. And you can create your own content automations, aka a one-click AI SEO tool using Claude. So for example, if we click on search apps or modules, we'll type in Claude like so. We'll click create a prompt, and we have to connect it to Claude using an API, right? So click create a connection, and then from here, I'm going to plug in my API key. Obviously, I'm going to do that in the background because I don't want to be sharing my API key directly on a live stream. So I'm just going to do that in the background. Wait for 1 second. And Chanika says, shout out to the best SEO agency in Thailand. Thanks for being on. And that's, I mean, what more can I ask for? That's a perfect review right there. So I'm going to hit save and create the connection. And actually, what's interesting about this, I've never tried this before, but what you can see here is that when I connect the key, it actually says your credit balance is too low to access the Claude API, right? So it looks like you actually do have to pay for Claude, which is interesting. I didn't know that. I thought you could connect it for free, but I'm going to show you an alternative anyway, using Google AI Studio instead. But if you do want to connect Claude to Make, and Make again is free. So the only thing you'd be paying for is Claude. You can just select a plan right here, select this one right here, then click on continue and just fill in all the details and get your API from there. But what I'm going to do in the meantime, because I promise this will be free and I'm determined to make it free for you, is we're going to go to Google AI Studio, right? And what you can do, if we close that down, is you can actually create content using Google AI Studio. And if you sign up, you can get free API keys directly in there. Now, this can be using, for example, Gemini, Gemini Pro, Gemini 1.5 Pro, and they've even got previews of Gemma 2, 9 bytes and 27 bytes. I've not tested those out, but it's quite interesting. Johnny says, how much Claude credits does that use on average? And I'm not actually sure. It depends how much content you're creating. Like I say, I've not signed up for the Claude API just yet, so it'd be interesting to know. But what I would say is that Claude's API seems to be cheaper than the other APIs. So, for example, if we put Claude 3.5 Sonnet into our browser right here, and I'll show you the comparisons, right? So, if you compare all the models, Claude 3.5 Sonnet, which is the newest version of Claude, is in the middle for cost. So it's not as expensive as Opus, but it's not as cheap as Haiku. But you can see that it's the most intelligent model. So it seems like you're not going to pay that much. Now, the other thing is, if you compare all the models together, what you can see right here is Claude is the most powerful versus, say, GPT-4o or GPT or Gemini 1.5 Pro or Llama or Claude 3 Opus, right? It's quite a lot more powerful. So it seems to be like a cheaper API. And so I would say if you're using this, it's going to be cheaper than any other Claude model that's been out there. And also, I don't know if it's going to be cheaper than, say, Claude ChatGPT 4.0, but it's probably going to be cheaper than say ChatGPT 4 from what I can see. However, that's an estimate. I'm not really seeing any comparisons of the pricing between different APIs. Income Stream Surfers says, have you checked out Harbor yet? I haven't checked it out yet, but I do want to. I think that's using the Claude API as well, right? Congrats on the launch, by the way, to Income Stream Surfers. Shout out to you, sir. Maybe we can do like a live stream on it, or if you want to join a live stream together one day, just drop me an email at me at juliangoldie.com, and yeah, we can do a live stream together, run through it together. You can do a little AI SEO masterclass with me. So what we can do is, if we go back to our scenarios, and then we shall go to, let's have a look. Which one should we open up right here? Let's have a look at this one. It's been a while since I've used Make. Is this one finished? No. Let's have a look at this one. So you can see a bunch of free tools that I've created inside Make, and I'm going to show you exactly how they work step by step. So, for example, this bulk content and bulk image generator, if we open this up, you can create your own automations like this, right? Now, what I would say is, if you want to do this ethically without spamming the internet, and you kind of like want a white hat SEO bulk content and bulk image generator, and I might do a video on this in the future, just specifically showing you how to do this, but you can change the automation so that when it goes to WordPress, you just put it in draft, you don't publish it, right? So you can see here, in status, we have draft mode right here. And so you can create an automation like this. It bulk generates content that creates the content for you step by step from a Google Sheet, as you can see right here. And if you want access to this, what I'll actually do is I'll download it as a blueprint. So we'll export the blueprint, as you can see right here, and I'll include that inside the live stream SOP. But basically, ethically, you can create all the content, and if you just published it, that would be spamming, right? That wouldn't be a good thing. But if you went through this whole process and then plugged it into WordPress and put it in draft, then your team or you can manually edit the content before you publish it, which means that instead of publishing like some spammy content, you get the spine and the outline and the outline for your content, and then you publish it to WordPress and just edit it, right? Step by step. How would you edit it? Well, inside my free SEO course, there is actually a quality control section, but you can also just use this manual quality control checklist and then add the finishing touches to the content to each page before you publish it. And then you've kind of got like a bulk content generation tool, but doing it the white hat SEO way, which means that you edit the content before you publish it, you quality control it, and you make your content better than most humans would write it, right? And so you could connect this to, for example, ChatGPT. You could connect it to Claude. I'm not sure if it's got Gemini inside there. Let's have a look if we can add a module with Gemini. So if we click on plus, add module, I don't think Gemini, they've actually added Gemini, which is pretty crazy right there. You've got Google Vertex as well. Let's have a look what other AI tools we can plug in there. So we've got Perplexity. You can actually create tools with Perplexity's API. These are all new APIs since I've used the tool last time. This stuff wasn't available. Grok, which is pretty interesting. You see there's all these other AI tools you can create inside automations. Even Jasper is there as well, which I've probably not used since ChatGPT came out. You've got Mistral, Leonardo AI, Stability, loads of cool stuff in there. It's absolutely endless. Maybe I have to do more videos on Make.com automations. But essentially, that's how it works. So pretty much covered every single question inside this process. Like I said, you could connect Claude 3.5 to Make.com. I'm going to include the export from this particular video for the Make.com blueprint. So if you want to just import this into Make.com, the blueprint that I've just exported, and then you could change it to Claude, you could use ChatGPT, etc., and then you could run it through a checklist like this one. Then I'll plug that into the process as well. Let me have a look right here. There we go. We've added the SEO checklist right there. And then you just run your content through the checklist before you publish it so that you're not creating spammy content. And so we've covered 3 different ways that you can create content. Method number 1 is with Claude 3.5 directly. You can create tools on there, publish them to the internet, share them with your team. We've covered method number 2, which is using WebSim AI. And once you've published, you can hit share. And then method number 3 is using make.com. And you can just connect your Claude API key to make.com, or you can, for example, connect all of the APIs that I've talked about today. I think if you can connect AI Studio directly from Google, let's have a look. So I think it'd be Vertex, Google Vertex. And you can get a free API from there. Then you can plug that into make.com as well and create your own one-click AI SEO tools that way as well. So that's pretty much it. I've delivered everything that I've promised today. I've promised you 3 new free ways to create one-click AI SEO tools, and we've done that. I've shown you how to save time using the best AI SEO tool on the internet. I've shown you how you can share them with your team and how it's easy and anyone can do this. Plus, I've given you all the prompts, SOPs, and workflows from today. So what I'm going to do is I will plug that into my free SEO course. And if you have any questions, now's the time to share them, because otherwise I'm going to go in a second. But yeah, appreciate you watching. Now, if you want a free SEO strategy session where one-to-one, we can have a call together and we'll build you a free SEO game plan. So you can book that in, links in the comments and description, and we'll basically give you an SEO domination plan. You'll discover the secrets of link building. We'll answer any questions you have. You'll discover the best link building strategies for your site. And this is all based on what's working for us. Now, everything that I've talked about today, we can personalize to your business. And yeah, you can use this strategy that I've shown you. Income Stream Surface says, I'll email you, mate. Have a good one. Keep up the grind. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, just drop me an email. I'll be happy to help. Usama says, you did not reply to me on LinkedIn. I will be honest, if it's anything about trying to sell me links, then I usually don't reply. So that's probably why. If it's something about selling or it's something that is, I get so many requests on LinkedIn and so many messages that usually I don't reply because most of them are quite spammy. So what I'm going to do is I will take the notes from today, like so, and I will plug that into the free AI SEO tool section. I'm going to call that Claude live stream. And even though Claude broke on me, as he saw earlier today, we still got through that. We still published 3 different ways to create SEO tools. And if you want all the SOPs and all the processes, then I'm going to plug that into the video description. And when the video is ready to download, I'll upload it right here inside the free SEO course. Now, bear in mind, this course comes with a crazy amount of stuff, right? So for example, if we scroll down right here, and I'll show you how much stuff this free course comes with. I would say it's better value than like most SEO courses that I've seen that are paid, right? So if we go into this free SEO course, which you can get access to, it comes with 86 different ways to do SEO, right? And for example, every single module comes with a video tutorial, comes with video notes and SOPs and prompts. And yeah, you can get free instant access to it. So if you want to learn how to do keyword research, if you want to learn how to do link building, quality control on content, like I've talked about, humanization, etc., you can get that, topical maps, EAT, SEO systems, pretty much everything you could ever want to know about SEO, including traffic diversification, you can get inside this free course. Feel free to check it out. Links in the comments and description. Appreciate you watching today. So no more questions, I think. Feel free to book in that SEO strategy session and I will jump off. Now, CX Notion just has one question, which is, do you still do niche sites or have you moved on? So for me, what I actually focus on is generating traffic to what's already a really high converting funnel for me. So for example, I know that if I have an SEO agency and it's already converting really well, I have already a great systems, great processes. I have a lot of EAT on the internet about it because obviously I publish on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, etc. about SEO. Well, because of those reasons, for that reason, I just create sites for my SEO agency to generate traffic for that. Now, sometimes I'll publish articles as experiments. I actually do daily experiments inside the SEO boardroom where I share like new tutorials, new things that are working for me. For example, like the other day I published one on like ranking with SoundCloud. Another tutorial recently was about microsites and how I create microsites and rank those. But for actually making like a serious amount of money, and I'm talking like millions of dollars, I just focus on generating traffic to my SEO agency with SEO. And if you look at some of the content that I've created inside the SEO boardroom, you'll see exactly what I mean and how I do it and how I monetize it. And I think that's one of the best ways to do it, because if you look at a lot of niche sites, they've been smashed, right? Independent publishers are getting smashed. And I think the niche sites are pretty much dead. Like if you look at my video last week about niche sites with Kaz Radash, you can see how the trend over time is to focus on different things, because niche sites are pretty much dying out and they're getting destroyed over time. So yeah, you can still make money with them. Do I build new sites with them? No. Why? Because they're too risky and because they get clapped all the time. What's better? Well, I think what's better is to focus on generating traffic to the funnels that already make you money, which I'm doing with my SEO sites. And I just create multiple sites, so I rank other content. For example, like even with YouTube, I'll show you a pretty cool case study from yesterday. I'm going to share my screen. I'll show you exactly what I mean. This is a really cool case study, and it's crazy how much traffic you can get from YouTube with SEO. So for example, if we take this particular video right here, and I'm just going to grab the URL, which you can see. And again, this was only published, 19 hours ago, right? So if we plug this particular URL into Ahrefs like so, you can see it's on track to get 7,400 traffic with SEO, right? So it's ranking for a bunch of keywords in less than 24 hours. Now, I've got a choice, right? So I can create a niche site that's probably going to get hit, especially if I'm doing public case studies. And especially if you look after the HCU update, what's ranking now versus before. Like, for example, user-generated content is ranking better on Google. Niche sites are ranking worse than ever on Google. Well, if I've got a choice between ranking a video in less than 24 hours for 7,000 traffic, or I can spend a year creating a niche site that's probably going to get clapped anyway or hit by an update, then I'm going to focus all my attention, my energy, and my money on ranking stuff that actually works, right? Just like this example. Now, if you want to see more stuff like that, and these are crazy case studies, right? 7,000 traffic in 24 hours using SEO with proof on a live stream, that's absolutely crazy, right? So if you want to learn more free ways to do SEO like that, just check out the SEO boardroom. That's essentially how it works. So I've answered every single question inside the comments today. Appreciate you watching. Make sure you book in that SEO strategy session. Check out the free course because it comes with amazing stuff on how to get more leads, traffic, and make more money with your websites and SEO. And I will see you on the next one. Now, if you enjoyed this live stream, just smash like on it just so that I can help more people for free. And I'm not doing this. I haven't even monetized a video. Like, I'm not doing this to make money. It's literally just to help you watching this. So I appreciate you watching and see you on the next one. Bye-bye.